Alright, hopefully you can hear me now. Don't know what was happening there, but I think I'm back, hopefully. Let's just double check here. I didn't really know what to do then, that was quite interesting. I am back, alright, we got commentary. Yeah, not too sure what happened there. That's what happens when you don't have time to test stuff. And anyway, who else is out there? So Terry Rayton still leading the way. Andrew Lawrenson is out there. Let's have a look at this livery that he's... Oh, it's not worked. That's very disappointing. I downloaded it and everything. I'm not too sure. So apologies for that. He said he had a fancy new livery for us, but it hasn't come up on my end, unfortunately. Here's James Mack. What a disaster this has been. At least I'm streaming this time. The last time I did a season finale, I didn't hit the go live button, so I ended up talking to myself for 2 hours and no one got to see any of it. So look, ahead of the game. No one's paying for this. No one's getting paid. We're all good. Here's Mitch Hayes, P4 right now. 1.5 tenths up on his best time. Does improve, but doesn't improve his position. Currently sitting in P4. Nando Latenzio, he's 3.5 tenths up on his best time. Currently sitting in P18. Where does he shake out? P6. Nice work there from the number 2 Ferrari. Just under 6 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. Currently it's Ben Hignett sitting at top of the times, 59.690. Neil Fakeney elevates himself up into P11. Let's have a look at the fastest driver on the circuit. Big handful of oversteer there. Able to just gather that up nicely. Heads down to the 130R. What sort of speed does he get up to? 256 kilometers an hour. Alright, so he's just right on the borderline of improving his time at this moment. He's going to go almost as fast as he did on his previous lap. So 59.690 still is the benchmark. Matt Frost, he is currently sitting in P10 right now, making his way through the Casio Triangle. Where's he? P8 now. Nice work, Matt Frost. Here's Mark Stevens. Ryan Tamer Racing. Has he got a new livery? He just changed it up a little bit. 1.5 tenths up on his best time. And good enough for P16 at this stage. Terry Rayton, currently in P2. He's not improving on his time at the moment. What about Vinny Canero? Last time out, he was P3 last week at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. 7 tenths up on his best time. That did get him good enough for possibly the second row of the grid. Yeah, makes his way through the chicane. Yeah, it's good quality. Alright. Just making sure everything's working. 4.5 tenths up on his best time. Good enough for P6, third row of the grid. Adrian Rice, he doesn't improve his time. What about Herbertron? Still remains in P18. Lee Perkins is stopped out on circuit. What about Paul Russell? Just over a tenth down, almost 2 tenths now on his best time. He's not going to improve at this stage in that camel liveried Lamborghini. So he remains P4 though, so still a good time. Here's Andrew Lawrenson on the 444. 4 tenths up on his best time. That's going to be good enough for pole position at this stage. There he goes, P1, Andrew Lawrenson. Nice work from him. Here's Max Ricker, 6.5 tenths up on his best time. And he moves up into P5. That is a flying lap from Andrew Lawrenson, 59.520. Here's Mark Hurley for Red Rebel Racing. Highest of the silver drivers so far with just 2 minutes remaining in this one. He's not going to improve on his time at this stage, so... Alright, who else do we have out there? Terry Rayton, not improving. Neither is Adrian Rice at this stage. Herbertron is. Minute 24 to go. Andrew Lawrenson's on another fast lap at the moment. Let's jump on board with him. He is almost 2.5 tenths up on his best time. Time is running out for these guys to set a competitive lap time. Shame that the livery didn't come up for whatever reason. I did download it. I don't know what happened. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Here goes Herbertron. He was 3.5 tenths up, good enough for P17 at this stage. Less than a minute to go, 40 seconds to be exact. Lawrenson throws the Audi 138. And I think it's invalidated his lap there, so he's not going to improve at this stage. Max Rickett is out there. Hignett has invalidated his lap, so he will not go faster. Did Lawrenson get around? There's 15 seconds left. We'll see if he goes for another bite of the cherry. Same with Hignett. We'll see if he has another go at it. That's Max Ricker in the background. He will get there just in time to have one more go. So we'll see what he does with his lap. Neil Fakeney, it's going to be it for him. So he's all done. Who's going to be the next one coming around? 170. That's going to be Peter Wall in the BMW. So in the meantime though, we've got Lawrenson out there on a hot lap. So is Hignett, both improving on their times. It's just over 1.5 tenths of the difference between the two. Terry Rayton making his way down through towards the 130R along the back straight. The Honda's humming. It's almost 3 tenths off. The fastest time so far belonged to Andrew Lawrenson. He is up on his best time, only marginally. Still, he's got to secure a second row start because Paul Russell is in the pits. He's happy with his time. Max Ricker can only challenge him, but he's almost half a second down on his best time. Here goes Terry Rayton, 2.5 tenths up on his best time. This will go to the front row of the grid. It does. Nice work from him. Here's Vinny Canero. He doesn't improve his position, so 17th is where he'll begin the race. Here's Andrew Lawrenson just coming out of Spoon Corner. Coming down the back straight now. He's 1.5 tenths off his best time, so he's not going to improve. Benjamin Hignett, though, he is up on his best time by 3 tenths right now as well. So that would be good enough to snatch pole position. That's it for Andrew Lawrenson. He's invalidated his lap. Here comes... that wasn't good, was it? Oh no, this is not good either. Oh, you know what? Sorry everyone, this is a bit of a disaster tonight. What the hell? This, sorry everyone. I can't, like, get in the game It's Benjamin Hignett with the fastest time. Oh, this is really annoying. Just stick with me. Seriously. Alright, I'll be back shortly. We'll get the race started. I'll be back shortly. Alright, what a disaster. Yeah. Alright, so keyboard ran out of batteries, and that essentially made me lose control, basically, of what was going on. What is it with fucking last rounds of the season? And I don't normally swear on the stream, but like, you know, just oh man, who cares, right? Who cares? Like, all right. Oh, so Benjamin Hignett ended up taking pole position. Yeah, Andrew Lawrenson in second. Let's at least have a look at the championship standings, shall we, while these guys do their warm-up lap. So Max Ricker's leading the championship, pretty much an unassailable lead. 572 points. He leads Terry Rayton on 494. He's only 5 points ahead of Andrew Lawrenson. Paul Russell sitting there in fourth. Vinny Cunero sitting there in fifth position on 383. 345 is Nando Latenzio. Matt Frost is seventh. James Mack not far behind him in 4 points behind. Chris Hildebrand, I think he's racing injured this evening in ninth on 301. He can wrap up Silver Championship tonight. Mitch Hayes in 10th in the championship. Then you got Chris Hildebrand. So Silver is leading the way, 301 points. Mark Hurley in second, Neil Fakeney in third. So that championship's still up for grabs tonight. Chris Taylor sitting in fourth. Adrian Rice, Wall, Marsh, Kong rounding out the eighth. Then you got AM, Mark Stevens, 241. points. Lee Perkins 224, so that's still up for grabs this evening. James Bridgens 207. Herbertron sitting there in 4th. Wally Masterson, Bonham and Mike Lewin. And there you go, you've got all the ballast and all that sort of stuff all sorted. In terms of our grid we've got this evening, so it was Hignett from Lawrence and Terry Rayton sitting there in 3rd position. 4th is Paul Russell, Ricker in 5th, Hayes in 6th, Canero in 7th, Latenzio there in 8th. Hurley, highest of the silver drivers, so he needs to finish ahead of Chris Hildebrand, who's currently 18th right now. So Hurley still in with a shout for the silver class championship. Matt Frost, that'd be quite good for Mark Hurley because he's come up from the AM too, so great job from him on the season. Here's James Mack. He's a former AM champion, I believe. In 11th, Neil Fakney in the silver class. He is 12th he is. Trying to give him one higher than he is. 13th is Peter Waugh. 14th is Adrian Rice. Lee Perkins is 15th. 16th is Mark Stevens. 17th is Herbertron. 18th is Chris Hildebrand. And 19th is James Bridgens. So that's the grid. Let's take a quick look at the track, shall we? So it's 18 turns in total, 5.8 kilometres. It's the only real track that I know that it's a figure 8. It's a very unique turn 1, sort of like a double apex turn 1 almost. Then you go up through the centre S's, Dunlop curve can catch drivers out. Then it's the fast flowing right-handers of Degner 1 and Degner 2, and it's the into the hairpin where you often see a lot of overtaking opportunities through there. Then patience is a virtue around Spoon Curve. Put your foot flat to the floor as you go along the back straight, and then the fast flowing left-hander of the 130R into the Casio Triangle, and then you get yourself out of there, you finish your lap, and away you go, you do it all again. So these guys are about to do it for 100 minutes in total. It's going to be a Lamborghini and an Audi on the front row. We'll see if anything else can go wrong on the stream. Hopefully we'll make it all the way to the end. And that's going to be a wrap on the season. Here we go. So these guys making it... yeah, it is working. That's good. James Pierre-Reid, game keeps crashing for him. Alright, so it looks like he might not be making it out there as they head along the straight. And we're going to get this underway. There we go. There's the green light. And it looks like Hignett got a pretty decent jump there. He's going to lead the way into the right-hander of turn 1. Lawrenson going around the outside. Rayton's already made a move. Paul Russell sitting there in 5th. Then it's Ricker, Kinero, Mitch Hayes in there. Latenzio, Frost, Hurley, Fateney down there too. Looks like everyone's made... Oh, just as I said it, Max Ricker and Hayes come together. And... that is Adrian Rice. Got a little bit caught up in that. Max Ricker again. Oh, he's gonna... This is not good for the championship leader. Let's see how that all came about. So we go on board with him. There you go. And this was the view from behind. And he's tried to get it going again. And yeah, not good for our championship leader. So that could have championship implications. What was the lead? The lead was 78 points, the difference between he and Terry Rayton. Rayton currently sitting in 3rd position. You get 100 points for a victory. Yeah, this worked that out as we go. Obviously only on the... haven't even finished the first lap yet. But Hignett leading them out of Spoon Curve. Remain straight. Back straight into the 130R, named after the the angle of degrees, or the degree of angle that the corner is a radius of. Oh, Hignett runs a little bit deep there in the Casio triangle chicane. That could cause him to come under attack from the Audi though. Doesn't look like it. He's got plenty of toe in the Pit Viper tramp stamp Lamborghini. Lawrenson getting a nice toe though, following him into turn one. Runs a little bit wide through there, but that's alright. This is a good battle at the front. Rayton's in there as well as Russell. Canero not far behind. Latenzio right on his hammer. Frost in there as well. And it's pretty tight between 8th through to about 12th as well. We have a quick look back there. Have a look at this little pack brewing right now. Highest of the silver drivers is Neil Fakney and Mark Hurley. And Hildebrandt's already worked himself up into P13. I think he started 18th, so he's got a good race going on already in the early stages of this one. Here's Latenzio all over the back of the Porsche, born to Vinny Canero. Last week's P3 place getter. Had a strong finish to the season. His second podium in the last 4 races for Vinny Canero. And then back to this action. This is Rayton all over the back of Andrew Lawrenson, going around the back of the track here. This is, that's got a it's got a corner name. It's like it's named after the degrees of the angle as well. So it looks like Pierre Reid hasn't been able to make it back, unfortunately for him. So not a great way to finish the season. There's Rayton giving chase to Lawrenson. We've seen that plenty of times over the journey. Here's Vinny Canero and Latenzio going side by side into the chicane, and Latenzio gets it done. So nice work there from Nando Latenzio. Hasn't quite updated on my screen yet. Yep, there it is now. Beautiful. So nice work from Nando Latenzio. Here's Stevens. He's having a look at James Mack. He's down in 10th and 11th. 150 there you go. Alright, so nice little battle going on. That's Chris Hildebrandt. So he's sitting in 13th. He's our Silver Class Championship leader. So you can see something earlier on about what the mathematical equation needs to be. But just back out in front, this is the leader of the race right now, Benjamin Hignett. He'll be very keen to finish his season off with a race victory. It would be his second of the season. So he's had a very interesting season thus far. A DNF, 2 DNSs, a 5th, a 10th, a win, a 20th and a 4th. So he's had a little bit of everything. As Latenzio, he's all over the back of Fakney. Freak it out right now. Too short. Yeah, that is really odd at the moment. I might have to reset it. Yeah, it's all over the place. Alright, hang on a second. Should be a little bit better. I won't know where everyone started, but you know, it'll be alright. Alright, so here's Hignett, Lawrenson. Who else is back there? So Latenzio having a good little run. nice little tussle with Fakeney. He managed to get past Hurley and Kiniro earlier on. So Vinny Kiniro dropped down into P9. Here's Mac all over the back of the Porsche. Into the hairpin. So Hignett leading Lawrenson by 1.3 seconds. Oh, Lattanzio has been a man on a mission in the early stages of this one. He's in the mix for... No, he's in the mix to move up in the championship. He's got Vinny Kiniro in front of him. About 28 points exactly, so... being challenged by Kiniro. This is going to be interesting going into the right-hander of turn 1. Kiniro almost gets a couple of wheels on the grass, using as much of the track as possible, and he manages to get past Mark Hurley, and he's got Neil Fakeney and Nando Lattanzio with Matt Frost just ahead of those two. Nice little battle pack between 5th and 11th basically, all covered by less than a second. So Hignett and Lawrenson out in front. 1.4 seconds is the gap between Hignett. 1.6 now, as you can see just there, and then Rayton a little bit further back, almost 2 seconds, then Russell. These guys, the top 3 all lapped in the 2 minutes, 2 minute flat. Rating a 2 minute .987 on that last lap. Russell did a 201.127. That was 1.1 seconds off the time of Hignett, who did a 2 minute flat point. Number 1.5. That's Neil Fakeney, just getting a little bit of contact there from Kiniro. Let's see what happened here. Let's go on board with Kiniro as we're looking on the replay. Let's see if this can give us a good angle. So they're coming out of Dunlop. Well, that sucks. We didn't see it. Because... possibly the worst stream I've ever done. Quite close to it, I reckon. Here's Kiniro on the back of Wall. Rick has managed to get past Perkins, so he's working his way back up the field. And Kiniro and Wall jostling as they go into turn 1. Wall just holding the position for now. Kiniro coming back. Almost making a little bit of contact. So just wrestling the car there a little bit as he's making his way through the centre S's up through Dunlop Curve and into the right handers of Degner 1 and Degner 2. Named after a dead motorcyclist, believe it or not. His name was, I think it was Ernest Degner. Died there a long time ago. Named the corners after him in memory. As Wall goes down the outside, Kiniro fighting for position, and he gets the job done. So Vinny Kiniro moves back up into P11. I had someone else Closer. Here we go. Latanzio all over the back of Frost. So they're in 5th and 6th. They're having a good run, these two. Frost and Latanzio. Don't know if Matt Frost, what's been his best finishing position so far this season? I'll find out in a second. That's Latanzio, just having a look. Looks like Kinero and Fakeney have swapped positions again. That's Mitch Hayes coming from a long way back there into the Casio Triangle as well. This is a nice little scrap going on. Chris Hildebrand has moved up into P9, so I think he's taking some painkillers at the moment. He's got a sore back, I believe. Have a look at this little rub in his racing moment between Peter Wall and Neil Fakeney. Two veterans just letting each other know that they're there, and Latanzio has made his way past Frost. Some nice work as Peter Ward just executes the move on Neil Fakeney to move up into P11. Now has Mitch Hayes hunting them down with Adrian Rice sitting there in 13th. And looks like Mark Steve. Oh, he's hit something. He's hit something big time. Has Mark Stevens, and he is in the pits getting that repaired right now. As we go back to the action on track, Hayes going around the outside at Dunlop. That's a brave move. And yeah, Fakeney did he just run a little bit deep there through Degner 1? He might have. He's been able to gather it back up again as they go under the bridge. This unique figure 8 configurated circuit into the hairpin. Now Hayes trying to get some momentum. The left-hander. It's not really a passing opportunity through there. You might want to try and line him up out of Spoon and then make the move into the Casio Triangle from here. Did he get a bit of a touch from behind? I'm not too sure. It's the back end just stepping out ever so slightly. That's Adrian Rice. Behind him is Max Ricker. Hignett still leading the way. 2 seconds is the gap now between he and Lawrenson. Last lap around, Hignett did a 2-minute .312. Lawrenson a .482. As Ricker just getting past a little sneaky dive down the inside of Adrian Rice into the Casio Triangle. So he's working his way back up through the field after that lap 1 incident. They're in 14th position. Field started to string out ever so slightly. Still have 19 runners though, which is the good news. 1.6 seconds is the gap between Hignett and Lawrence, and a further 2.2 behind them is Terry Rayton. And then it's Russell, Latanzio, Frost, Hurley, James Mack, and then we get a nice little group going from there. Hildebrand and Kinero, Peter Ward just trying to attach himself to that group there as well. As we're having a look at James Mack. Jump over to Vinny Kinero, who doesn't really seem like he's felt particularly comfortable so far in this race. Lost a few positions off the start. Maybe that Porsche just proving to be a little bit of a handful around here. That's Mark Stevens. So he's just getting out of the way there, doing a very good job of it. Going the extra mile there to get out of the way. We go back to Kinero. The view from behind. Chasing down Hildebrand. Yeah, just hasn't really looked comfortable in that Porsche around here. The only Porsche in the field. So the Lexus has definitely got him in the top speed department. 262 kilometers versus 258. So that's what the Lexus is certainly known for, that's for sure. There's Kinero following Hildebrand through the chicane, onto the front straight. You don't get much reprieve on this circuit. You're constantly doing something around here. The straights aren't that long. And they're not that straight either. This is the longest of them. Let's go into the unique right-hander. Car out left there. Bring it back in. Try and just kiss that apex as he does. Lift the car out a little bit wider. It's all about patience through the centre S's. Sticking in third gear. We go down to second for this next one. And he's going to hold it, and go. And once you get to Dunlop, you know you're almost at the end there. Mac has a little bit of a wobble. Might open up an opportunity for Kinero. How late does he brake? Just at the 50-metre mark for Dagnall 1. Run it out wide. Kiss the apex. Keep it wide through there as well. And you take this corner flat. Oh no, a little bit of a lift on the brakes. Late apex. Easy on the power on the exit. To the floor now. Can take this flat out. Ever so wide. Bring it back in here. Keep it to the right hand side of the track. And through Spoon. It's a lot harder than it looks this corner, especially this one right here. Oh, so brutal. But then you know you're home free once you get out of here. And then down along the back straight. There you go. Just over the figure 8. Through here. 130R Mac running a little bit wide. It's going to be hard on the brakes. Brake as late as you dare. Mac didn't have a very good line through there either, so this might open him up, make him a little bit vulnerable into turn 1. McLaren's got plenty of toe in it though. There's a lap of what I'd have to say is one of my favourite all-time tracks. Definitely a bucket list track to get to. Kind of no excuse though, really, Japan being so close to Australia. Hopefully get there one day. Should do. Mark Stevens 18, so we've lost 1 down to 18. Started with 19. Not too sure who we've lost. Certainly not Vinnie Kinero. As he goes down the inside of Dunlop. Of the inside line for Dagnall 1. And he gets it done. Nice work, Vinnie Kinero. Takes away P9 from the Silver Championship leader. What about Max Ricker? He's got Neil Fakney for company. The hairpin. Ooh, that's a bit of a wobble. That's a good save there from Ricker. You saw that he was full opposite left there. He's pushing hard in 14th position after the little kerfuffle at the beginning of the race. And he gets past Neil Fakney. It's Adrian Rice coming through as well. He's challenging for position. Weather looks absolutely optimum. Track is optimum. 32 degrees track temperature, 24 degrees air temperature. Not much wind to speak of as Rice gets a nice run out of the exit of the Casio Triangle. He's going to tuck into the toe here. Let's see if he can just make his way a little bit further. Who's going to be the leader on the brakes? And hold it line astern into turn 1. So Neil Fakney still occupies 14th. Adrian Rice still in 15th position. How far down are we? 20 minutes, 21 and a bit minutes into it, so making our way through it so far. Good battle still out in front here. It is a shame that I couldn't get that livery. I do apologise, Andrew Lawrenson. I downloaded it, I looked at it all, I checked it out. Obviously this didn't come up, I didn't have time to rectify that. So these guys have been lapping in the 2:05, so last lap around Hignett 2-minute 5:10. Lawrenson at 2-minute 6:60. Rayton in the 2:01.1. Russell at 2:01.5. Latanzio 2:01.5. And then Frost at 2:02.7. So the top 5 in the mid to low 2:01s. The top 2 lapping in the 2-minute flats. 2-minute 8 that last lap around. Rayton did a 2:01.020. So gives a bit of an idea on the pace thus far. But that's how the lead is looking. Mark Hurley is the leader of the silver class. So the 177 Ferrari for Red Rebel Racing. That's currently sitting in 7th position right now. As we're watching Vinny Canero tucking into the slipstream of James Mack as they head down the front straight. Canero inching ever closer towards getting ahead. Thought better of it, just pulled out of the move at the last second. And looks like Russell has overtaken Rayton. What's happened here? Oh, Terry Rayton. Where is that? Oh, that's out of turn 2. So, might have just come unstuck through there. Car could have possibly just tried to turn around on him through there, through the right-hander. Can be a tricky little corner through there. So, poor Russell, he is now sitting in P3. Wouldn't that be a fantastic way for him to finish the championship? He's only finished on the podium once this season. That was round number 4. He was P3. Finished in the top 10 every race bar one. 18th was his lowest finish. That was at Silverstone, I do believe. He didn't have a very good time there. As Lee Perkins, that's at Degner 2. Let's have a look on the replay what's happened. So we're with Perkins. That's Degner 1. And it was Rice. There you go. So yeah, not facing the right way as we go back to live images. So he's back in 16th right now. As Mark Hurley just trying to catch the toe of the Audi in front belonging to Matt Frost. All too familiar 666 number on the side of the Audi. They're 6th and 7th. So Hurley leading the silver class at this stage. Been a relatively action-packed race so far, which is good. Last week was alright. A couple of weeks before that, though, had been fantastic, awesome racing. So you win some, you lose some. And it also depends on what you like as well. Here's Hayes. He's tucked under the rear wing of Peter Wall. And he's got Ricker. You can see the car just in the background there, looking from the rear of the number 7 Lamborghini. So this is what he sees in front of him. It's the rear wing of the BMW belonging to the silver driver Peter Wall. Last lap round at 2:02.680. Peter Wall at 2:02 dead flat to Mitch Hayes. So almost 7/10 the advantage on that previous lap in favour of the number 7. Head into the hairpin here. Benjamin Hignett continues to lead this race, as he has done pretty much from the get-go. 2 seconds is the gap between he and Andrew Lawrence. He was 3/10 faster on that last lap. Paul Russell a ways behind those two. About 15 seconds is the difference between second and third. Then a couple of seconds behind Russell is Terry Rayton. And then it's another pretty big gap, over 10 seconds between Rayton and Latanzio. And Latanzio has got a pretty big gap between he and Frost, almost at 8 seconds. Nothing like what we're seeing right now as we're riding along with Mitch Hayes through that 130R. Just got a little bit of understeer going through there. Let's see if we can get a good run out of the Casio triangle. Oh, that's not going to help his cause. I think that was the same thing that happened with Chris Hildebrand. I think I saw him just have a little bit of a snap of oversteer. And might look great, but yeah, isn't the fastest option, unfortunately, as they head into turn 1. So they've got Hildebrand just up ahead of them. Kinero was making some way into Max. So this has been a good little battle that's going on. James Brack having a pretty good season. His lowest finish of the season is 11th. So he's at a 6th, a 5th, a DNF, a 5 and a 3. So that podium coming only a couple of weeks ago. Good to see him having a good run up there in P8 right now. So not far away from the first half an hour complete, so that will mark the 3rd race distance. As Hayes going down the inside. I did say that in the track map that we'll see a little bit of overtaking through there, and we did. Let's see that again, shall we? Let's go on board with him because we saw it from the helicopter view live. This is what it looked like. Down the inside, and then this is the view from Peter Wall, and there is the Lamborghini of Mitch Hayes ahead of him. So that's the situation that we have in front of us right now. Mark Hurley trying to catch that Audi in front of him, and it's a pretty big gap between Frost and Nando Latenzi. He's having a good race down there in 5th position, up there in 5th position, I should say. So nice race there from the number 2 Ferrari. Oh, James Bridgens was the person that dropped out. Thanks for letting me know, James. That's unfortunate for him. So that's his season done. He was sitting in 3rd in the AM Championship, as Adrian Rice is currently in the pits. So Herbtron is his closest challenger. He's in 16th. He was 24 points behind. Where would he need to finish? He would need to finish at least 19th. Oh, so Herbertron currently in 16th. That would be enough to get him above Bridgens. I think all the drop rounds have been taken into consideration as well. As Hurley continues to just put the pressure on Frost. Two of the closer cars out on track. There is a few others out there. The two behind would be a pretty good example as well. 3:17 in the afternoon, so track at 31 degrees has gone down a degree. Air temperature is at 24. Kinero just running a little bit wide through turn 1. Oh, Hayes and Hildebrand getting the elbows out. Let's see how that came about. This is coming down the front straight. So Hildebrand goes in. Oh, he just runs a little bit wide. That opens up the doors for Hayes. And then I don't reckon Hildebrand would have been able to see him there. So I think that was just incidental contact. And They've both managed to keep on going. Kiniero's managed to keep going. No harm came from that. And there's Hurley as well. So this is a nice little awesome foursome going on here. They're battling it out for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th right now. Hurley leading the silver class. I reckon these guys will be quite enjoying themselves so far. The time multiplier right now. I looked at it before and it was 3:17. It's now 3:21. Might get some late afternoon sunset action going on as Kiniero's not thinking about that. He's thinking about how he can go down the inside of the McLaren and James Mack, who says, I'm not going to let you do that as easily as you want. He's going to fight. They're still going at it. We see more door-to-door action, and again, both drivers fortunate to keep going, keep facing the same way. This is all going to play into the hands of Mitch Hayes, who's sitting 1.5 seconds off these two, and Kiniero gets it done. Let's go on board. Yeah, there's one, and there's the other one. And a little bit of Rubbins racing action going on there. And Kiniero holding on to P8 right now as we go back to live images very, very shortly. There we go. And then we go to Mark Hurley. He's still tucked under the rear wing of the Audi. This is the battle that I wanted to get to because this is closed right up between Russell and Rayton. So, well, it's sitting at just over half a second. Last lap around, Russell was almost a full second slower than Rayton, so perhaps he just had a little bit of a moment that's opened up the door for Rayton. Let's see what time he does this trip around, a 2:01.760, only just marginally faster than Terry Rayton. So it's like whatever was ailing him is no longer, and Paul Russell will be head down and eyes forward, try and put the gap between he and the Honda belonging to Terry Rayton. Back to this action here. Where's Max Ricker? So Max Ricker kind of stalled out at 13th, 2:03.480. So perhaps suffering some damage there in the beginning. I think he did whack a wall and he got whacked from behind as well. So maybe that's just impeding his pace at this stage. So he's down there in 13th position. He would get 39 points for that. And he was sitting 78 points ahead of Terry Rayton, who's sitting in 4th right now. He gets 79 points. So Max Ricky just needs to circulate to take home this championship. Terry Rayton, he's not happy with circulating. He wants to get up as high as he possibly can. Currently sitting in 4th right now, right on the rear of the Lamborghini belonging to Paul Russell. Great livery. I've said that quite a few times already in the races that I've done this season. Approach the 130R, just a little lift. Now, Paul Russell did say something in the chat last week around track limit warnings and stuff like that. See if we can have a look at that shortly. I'm going to take my eyes off the action right now as Russell just trying to break the toe ever so slightly of the Honda. Not able to get a move done then. Here's Vinny Canero. Finally able to get past Mark Hurley. He does. So that Porsche now elevated up into P7. Hurley will no doubt fight back. But to no avail, he's not able to get through. So Vinny Canero now moving up into P7. He's got Frost just up ahead of him, less than a second up the road. And this battle's not over either between Hurley, Mack and Hayes. And then Peter Wall as well in the BMW. He's got Chris Hildebrandt just up ahead of him. You can see there. And there's Max Rico I was talking about earlier. Still lapping in the 203s is Max Rico, our championship leader. Final round of the season. Round number 9, second season of this year of 2024. I believe we're almost halfway through. Amazing. So we're looking back from the rear of Peter Wall. That's Max Rico in the McLaren. Making up ground on Frost, and Rayton is making up plenty of ground on Russell. Can he get a run on the Lamborghini as they head past the pits? Almost 40 minutes deep into this one, and is he going to send it down the inside here? No, not quite. So he just pulls out at the last moment. He follows the Lamborghini through. See a few other cars about to make their way along the front straight. Vinny Canero is one of them. He's got the pace advantage over the Audi. 4 kilometre pace difference. 258 to 262 kilometres. Can't quite put it into full effect through there. As we're looking back at Hurley, Mack and Hayes. And then Peter Wall as well. He's all over the back of the Lexus, and he's got Max Ricker tucked right in behind him as well. So got plenty of on-track action, which is fantastic. 18 runners. We've lost 2. James Pierre Reid was in here momentarily this evening, and James Bridgens is the other one who has departed the server. So making their way up through Dunlop Curve, is it? I think so, yep. Dagnall 1. Goes right in the bumps. It's exciting. Through there, 3:35 p.m. in the afternoon in game time. Track's still at 31 degrees. Ricker trying to turn up the heat a little bit on Peter Wall. Goes down the inside at the hairpin. He's going to get the job done. I think it's a wounded car at this stage, so just struggling with pace. Lapping in the 203s at this stage as we crack open the final hour of the season, final hour of the race. Wall just runs a little bit wide into Spoon. Max just trying to dive down the inside, almost hesitantly there. It almost felt like a little bit. See pace difference between the two as they go back down the back straight into the 130R. On board with earlier, they were in 50. I think that was Terry Rayton. Speaking of Terry Rayton, he's making a pit stop. So at the 40-minute mark of the race, he heads into the pits. I'll just stick with this for now. Mitch Hayes is doing the same. So we're seeing a couple of pit stops in this one. There's Hayes, and you can see there's Rayton as well, just up ahead. Get back to the on-track action. Ricker looking for a way past Peter Wall. They're battling it out 10th and 11th right now. Max Ricker is at the pointy end of the field for qualifying. Just had that lap 1 incident coming up through the centre S's that put him all the way back to the rear of the field, and he's had to fight his way back ever since. So He's doing a good job of that in P11 right now. 58 minutes to go. See how high he can get. I think the race victory is certainly out of the question. Maybe even squeezing up on the podium might be very, very optimistic. So we'll see. As Kinero ran a little bit deep there into the hairpin. No harm, no foul. What about Neil Fagney? He's managed to get past Lee Perkins. Let's see how that came about. They're coming out of Dunlop into Dagnall 1. Oh, he just ran deep there, did Perkins. Yep, got on the AstroTurf. Oh, he gets on the dirt. That really retards the car and allows Fakeney to walk through. Takes that position away nice and easy. Here's Paul Russell. So he's making his pit stop. It is open pit stop strategy, so no restrictions as we've seen throughout the season. Different types of scenarios for pit stops. It is an open strategy. I do believe anyway. For 100-minute races. Here's Kinero. Oh, he just makes a little bit of contact there. Go back on the replay and Frost. Again. This is how close he got. Oh, I thought he got a little bit closer than that. There you go. So Perkins and Russell. Paul Russell down there in 13th position. So that's where he's filtered out after his stop. So he's got his stop all completed. Terry Rayton made his stop, so down there in 14th position. And so it looks like Russell was able to maintain his position ahead of Rayton after that round of pit stops. So the second is, it's almost a second of the gap between the two. So good work from Paul Russell, able to complete his stop and hold his position. So they're down in 13th and 14th right now, but plenty of pit stops still to shake out until the end of this one. So they'll climb back up into that top three as they were. Have a look at Peter Wall, who's been overtaken by Max Ricker. We saw that dive at the hairpin get that job done. He's got Hildebrandt next. Hildebrandt did a 2:03.750 that last lap around. Ricker did a 2:03.065, so 7/10 in favour of the number 27 McLaren. Battling it out for 9th and 10th. Because I think Hurley is in the pits. He is. Ricker tucking into the rear wing of the Lexus. Trying to break the toe. Moderately successful. Oh, it's a big back end slide there from the Lexus going through turn 2. They're going to head up the hill, up through the centre S's. This is where the Lexus might not struggle a little bit. Really, it's being nimble, not really its forte. McLaren, on the other hand, would this sort of stuff up. See Hildebrandt having to work extremely hard to keep Ricker behind him. This is the view from the rear of the number 27, so he's got no room for error either. They make their way through Degner 1, Degner 2 now. So Hildebrandt holding his own. Stuck around. Hildebrandt in 2:04.377, Ricker at 2:04.260. So Lawrenson is in the pits. He's making his stop now. Hignett continuing on. And looks like Latenzio, he's just making his way into the Casio triangle. See what he does, if he responds. He was a fair way behind Lawrenson though, so there's no real chance of leapfrogging through the pit, so he continues on. Lawrenson in there. A bit of a par time. I think we do about 1:04, 1:05 right now. Total stop time. Lawrenson at 45 seconds and counting. So as we're watching Hignett, Kinero making his way into the pits now as well. So the pit stops all kicking off with just on 52.5 minutes remaining. We're going 48, so not too far away from the halfway mark of this one. Might be a little bit of fuel saving towards the end of the race as Lawrenson has gotten back going again. Ricker continues to hunt down Hildebrandt, while Kinero and Wall are both in the pits. So Rayton and Russell now moved up to P10 and 11. After a few more stops have rounded out. Lawrenson, his total time was 1:04, as was Russell. Penalty, stop-go penalty for Vinny Kinero. That is no good for Vinny. Had to be speeding in the pit lane for him. Just made his stop. And it was a good stop too. A second faster than those around him. 2 seconds faster than Hurley, but unfortunately for him, he's got that stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so that is not good for Vinny Kinero. Been having such a good race as well. He's been really kicking himself for that mistake. Looks like he's got a little bit of few battle scars there as well. He's had some door-to-door action so far in this one. Here's Rayton now all over the back of Paul Russell. They're fighting for 10th and 11th, but overall, this is for a podium position between the two for third. Rayton just trying to get a little bit of a toe from the Lamborghini. Last lap around, he was actually a little bit slower by 10th only than Russell. Make their way through 130R. Russell's done a really, really good job of soaking up all of this pressure as well, because he's had Rayton behind him now for a fair while, at least a good 20 minutes, maybe even half an hour. And Russell's been able to make his pit stop, hold his position, soak up all that pressure, and continue on and not put a foot wrong. So poor Russell really putting in a fine performance this evening. There's a few other cars in the pits. Hildebrandt, Ricker, Lattanzio, Fakeney making his way in there as well. So 4 cars in the pits as Rayton continues to give chase. He's a couple of tenths slower on that last lap as well, about 1.5 tenths only actually, in fact. Stop go, 30 seconds clear, no 2 laps remaining for Vinny Kinero, so just getting the warning. We are over halfway now as well. Track's still at 30 degrees, so it has dropped a couple of degrees since the start of the race. Air temperature has stayed the same. It's 3:57 p.m. in the evening, in the afternoon, in game time. Still have 18 runners. And the field is a little bit jumbled right now, just in terms of pit stops that have been made and whatnot. So we'll take a few more laps and stops for it to all shake out. Cars that haven't stopped: Frost, Mack, Perkins, and Herbtron. The remainder of the field has made at least one stop. Some of them, I don't think anyone really pitted for damage at the beginning of the race after we had had that little incident. So should be all right in that case. And we're watching Terry Rayton pouring the pressure on Paul Russell, who is being able to absorb all of that. They head down the front straight. Rayton right under the rear wing. Goes side by side into turn 1. Russell just ran a little bit wide there, may make contact. Seen a little bit of that this evening already. And Rayton able to keep it moving in the right direction. And he gets the position taken away from Paul Russell, who's done such a great job of defending. You see it here, there's a little bit of contact. And that's on board with Paul Russell. So thankfully, both drivers are able to keep it facing the right direction. We go back to live images. So Frost is our race leader, yet to make a stop. Same with Mack. And Perkins as well. So they're the remaining 3 cars. Herbertron is in the pits right now, so is Hignett. What's happened to Hignett? Why is he in the pits for so long? Oh, he was our race leader, so this is his second stop. What's happened? Is he hit something? I'm not too sure. He's been in there for over a minute and a half now. What has happened to Benjamin Hignett? Continues to be in there at this stage, so he's a minute 50 almost. So, and I couldn't really see any damage or anything, so I'm not too sure what's happened here to Benjamin Hignett. This is going to make a big difference to the race. This is James Mack coming into the pits. Hignett is going now, so I don't think there was a penalty next to his name. He was in the pits for 2 minutes and 9 seconds in total. So, and he's come out in P18. I have no idea what's happened to him there. But he was contesting for race victory, but just over the halfway mark, and it's all turned sour for him. So yeah, we'll have to. I reckon it might have been a disconnect. I'm not too sure, but whatever it is, it's put a massive dent in his chances of winning. Disqualified, speeding in pit lane. That's Vinny Canero. What is going on here? So it just came up. Flash said that he was disqualified for speeding in the pit lane, and he was serving his stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And you can see there on the left-hand side of the screen, it's got a DSQ. To the right hand side of Vinny Canero's details. So that is day done for Canero. I do not know what has happened there, but it is very unfortunate for him, and it's a really disappointing way to finish the season. So I don't know if it's been some sort of game glitch or what's going on there, but Canero is out of the race and he's still in the pits there. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's happened to him. So drama first with Hignett, then Canero getting the DSQ. As we're watching Peter Wall and James Mack battling it out for 9th and 10th. You can see the cars just overhead going past there. As mentioned, this unique figure 8 configuration. Still 44 minutes left in this one. Andrew Lawrenson now is our race leader, and of course he is because I don't have his livery this evening. As Fakeney gets past Perkins. Let's see what happens here. Is that Degner 1? It is. We've already seen Perkins have a little bit of trouble through here a little earlier in the race, and proved to be difficult for him once again. So he is actually the highest of the AM runners. So despite sitting 13th, he's still having a good run right now, is Lee Perkins. Mark Stevens is the championship leader there by 17 points. So Lee Perkins currently sitting in 13th. He would receive 39 points, which would then elevate him past. And then Mark Stevens would get 28 points. So I'd have to get the old calculator out here. Well, not yet, because we've got a long way still to go in this one, so I'm not going to even start doing that sort of stuff until a little bit further, at least a good sort of half an hour, and then we can start doing that kind of stuff. But in the meantime, Peter Wall continues to just hunt down James Mack. Last lap around, Mack was on his out lap out of the pit, so it doesn't really give us a proper picture yet. So Lawrenson making the move for the lead. Audi on Audi. Matt Frost is yet to pit. So he's continuing on. Only driver so far in the field to have not pitted. Once he does though, he's still going to come out not too bad, probably around P8, P9 at this stage. But Andrew Lawrenson is our race leader. A further 14 seconds down the road is this man here, Terry Rayton, and Paul Russell 1.6 seconds behind him. So Benjamin Hignett was leading this race for probably almost the first half, and now unfortunately for him down there circulating in 17th position, so we've lost Bridgens and Vinny Canero, so I'm not too sure what happened to him. Very unfortunate. That is his third DNF for the season. He hasn't had the best luck. Yeah, Hignett has, disconnected. He had, hopefully he recovered. Yep, so... So he had a disconnection issue. That's pretty brutal. That is sim racing though. It's the equivalent of the mechanical failure. As we continue to watch Mack and Wall do battle. So Mark Hurley currently leading the silver class. Yeah, he was 34 points behind Hildebrand. He is sitting in P11 right now. Good little battle here. Mac 202.650. Last lap around, Wall 202.617. So in the meantime, Lawrenson leads this one. Frost yet to pit. When's he gonna go? How long can he go? He's begun another lap. So that'd be almost a full hour. It'll be just over a full hour that he'll do on the one tank. Now a minute and 5 seconds minute 4 seems to be about par, and that would be P8 with much quicker. So we will wait with bated breath on the arrival to the pits from Matt Frost. We'll keep ourselves entertained. This battle on track, which to be fair is the two closest cars on track right now. So you've got everyone else is pretty well spaced out. The other closest battle is Perkins and Fakeney. They're just on a second. Rice and Herbertron. So Herbertron. Oh, what's happened here? Let's go to the replay. This is the Casio triangle. Oh, did he get distracted? There was a cone coming across the road. So see, there it is. flipping and flailing around there. You'd be lucky to not be DSQ'd here. He's gotten it going again. So, fortunately for Herbertron, he's managed to avoid a disqualification for driving the wrong way. And this is Hignett. That's Frost coming through. So everyone coming through is going to be lapping Benjamin Hignett, unfortunately for him. But give him credit. I could have easily just said, nah, I'm out of here. See you later. I had a great season. Well, it's had a season of ups and downs, I guess. Yeah, a couple did not start. So D and F, a 5th, a 10th, a win, and a 20th and a 4th. So, and this is going to be another low finish for him, unfortunately. But I don't think it's truly reflective of his season that he's had. That win a few weeks ago was certainly well earned. He went door to door with Andrew Lawrenson for a lot of it. Really put on a show, both those drivers. So great stuff from him. We'll see if he can come back a bit bigger and better next season. That will be starting. Back to Peter Wall. So 2 closest cars out on track. Speaking of Andrew Lawrenson, he's almost about to start. Right. Go. 2-minute flat. Where's Matt Frost coming in? That is the question. How long can he go? Almost at... what are we at? Yeah, just over an hour. Right now. Here's Andrew Lawrenson. Let's do a lap with our race leader. Suzuka with our race leader. That was a 2-minute 8.75 for Andrew Lawrenson. Here's Perkins. He's battling it out with Fakeney. He's down there in 12th and 13th. Lee Perkins, though, is leading the AM class. Stevens in 16th. He's second. He's the leader of AM Championship. Spicy here. They're making their way towards Spoon. That was Fakeney just running a little bit wide. And that was enough of a mistake for Lee Perkins there to slip through. And he takes P12 away. So nice work there from Lee Perkins. continues to rise through the field. Alright, what else have we got going on? 32 and a half minutes left. Yeah, field is strung out right now. How's Max Ricker going? So, since his pit stop, he's lapping a lot quicker. So, a 201.655, which was half a second faster than the Ferrari that he's chasing. Has Matt Frost pitted yet? He still hasn't pitted. Ah, here we go. He knocks the cone there for 6 on the way in. But here's Frost. Finally, he makes his stop. Almost 70 minutes into this race. Good stint from him. He'll have enough time to have a quick little stretch. So he hits his marks. And there he goes. Latenzio, he heads through. So I was predicting it to be Ricker, wasn't I? He might drop a little bit lower than that, actually. Where are you, Frost? Significantly lower than that. He's got about another 20 odd seconds left in there. Oh, he might head down towards about 12th at this stage. Here's Frost. Oh, he's going again. Yeah, he's 11. Ah, look at that. I might be right. So he's making his way now onto the front straight. Who can we see? Is that Hildebrandt? It is. He's going to be on the warmer tyres. Tyres that are going to be up to pressure. Frost will be on a brand new set of tyres, so they won't take too long to get up to temp and pressures as well, as the track has continued to lower in temperature. So now at 29 degrees, you can see more shadows coming across the track, particularly in the first part of the lap. Air temperature is at 23 degrees, so that's dropped a degree as well. It's 4:35 in the afternoon. Barely any wind to speak of. Yeah, barely any wind. Just looking at some photos. My younger brother, he and his wife had their first baby today, which is quite exciting. I'm being spammed right now with baby pictures. They all kind of look the same though, don't they? Unless it's your own. I don't have any of them. Thank goodness for that. Yeah, wouldn't be able to do stuff like this. Anyway, here's Frost. So he's down there in 10th position. This race is pretty... it's just petering along right now. There's not a lot happening, so why don't we have a look at Terry Rayton here. So he and Paul Russell have been together for quite a while. Let's go through Terry Rayton's season stats, shall we? A DNF to start the season, a second, then 2 wins in a row, and then he had to have the next race off after that. He was going to a wedding. And then a 4th, a 2nd, and a 5th. So he's had a pretty good season, Terry Rayton. Besides the DNF, he hasn't finished any lower than 5th. So that's pretty good. That puts him 2nd in the championship. Now he's 2nd on track. I think we can start to do a little bit of the calculations action. Alright, so if he was to finish second... So, he's on 494 points, plus 91 for P2 would be 585. Now that would be 13 ahead of Max Ricker, who right now is in 7th, but he would get 63 points. So this championship is pretty much all sewn up already. Now, I'm going to say that though, second was not sewn up. So Terry Rayton, he's sitting second in the championship. This man here, Andrew Lawrenson, he's sitting third in the championship right now. So his season has gone a second to first. He missed a couple of weeks, 2 DNSs, a first, a third, a 7th, and a first. So he has had 3 race victories for the season, possibly looking to make it number 4, which then would leapfrog him above Terry Rayton to 589 points, because you get 100 points for a victory, but then you would have Terry Rayton would get 85 points, so I think he would actually, let me quickly do the calculations here. As you can tell, and as you might have known if you ever watched these streams, maths is not my strong suit. 489, especially if you, well, there's really nobody watching, so it doesn't matter, does it? 489 plus, that's 589. 494 plus 91. Oh yeah, he would actually pip him by 4 points. So if it was to finish right now, Lawrenson would be elevated into second in the championship, above Rayton by about 4 points. So the difference between the two on track is 20.5 seconds. So that is at this stage with just over 25 minutes remaining. Highly unlikely that those two positions swap, which is what you don't really want to end the season. It's just a shame about Benjamin Hidnet, who disconnected. He was challenging Andrew Lawrenson. He was in fact leading Andrew Lawrenson in this race, so really unfortunate for him. That's them's the breaks, right? Like that's just that's sim racing for you. So we're watching Matt Frost. So we're going to be at on-track action. So I should probably talk about that. Time's at 4:45 in game time. So 5 in the afternoon. Game time. 28 degrees is the track temperature. 4 kilometres of wind, but no rain on the forecast for this one. So it'll be good conditions until the end. As Frost continues to hunt down the BMW. What's on that time? Frost was about a second faster on the previous trip around. This time almost the same. Almost a second the difference between the two. Making up plenty of ground under brakes going into turn 1 through the right-hander turn 2. Peter Wall is going to have a bit to do, and Matt Frost is on the very, very new rubber right now, so he's only 6.5 minutes out of the pits, so he's looking good right now to secure a top 10 position. Speaking of Matt Frost, let's talk about his season, shall we? So it was an 8th, then a 12th, then a 9th, then a DNF, then a 4th, a 10th, a 14th, and a 10th. So a bit of a mixed bag for Matt Frost. His lowest finishing position was 14th. His best finishing position for the season was a 4th. So no podiums for him as he goes down the inside at the hairpin. Sort of dive there. We've seen that happen a few times already in this race. As the shadows starting to creep ever more across the circuit. That's coming from a long way back too. Peter Wall saw him. He said, "I'll just let you have that one. I don't want to fight that. You're not my competition at this stage." And he prefers to keep his nose clean there. Yeah, so Matt Frost, his worst finishing position of the season was 14th, and his best finishing position of the season was 4th. And then, yeah, but generally a top 10 operator, 12th in round number 2, but he sits 7th in the championship. He is 26 points behind Nando Latenzio, who I have to say is having a great race. Nando Latenzio, currently there in 4th position. Check him out. He's had a good season. He is sitting 6th in the championship. So 16th in the opening round. Then he bounced back with a 7th. Then it was 12th, 4th, 14th, 13th, and then the last 2 weeks a 5th and a 7th. So that's the lowest. The lowest he's finished is 16th in round 1, and then his best finishing was a couple of weeks ago, P5. So 7th last week, and he's currently 4th right now. Now he is a long way away from Paul Russell. Almost 12 seconds is the gap between the two, so it's not really going to work into his favour of trying to climb up onto the podium. But there's still just under 22 minutes remaining, so Paul Russell, he's not coming under attack for his position. He's 6.5 seconds adrift to Terry Rayton, so really the biggest enemy right now of Paul Russell is himself, basically, because when you're in this situation where there's no real pressure from behind, and you've got a fair gap between you and the car in front, and you're just pottering around in 3rd position, that you can be prone to just a lapse in concentration. Your mind might start to wander. You might start to think about maybe something that happened at work today, or work you need to do tomorrow, or a commitment that you have, or whatever. And then before you know it, you've made a mistake, you're off the track, and you've got Nando Latenzio right behind you. So Paul Russell just keep that concentration up until the end of the race to bag a podium. And speaking of his season, so he also started, he was a DNF. I went just through this before, didn't I? So, no, I don't think so. So 6th in round number 2. He went 1 better in round number 3. And then he went 2 better in round number 4. So that was his best finishing spot for the season. Was round 4. Took home P3. So that was his best result. Then a 7th. An 18th, that was a bit of a dirty day for him at Silverstone. A 9th and a 6th last week. And on track to possibly take home his 2nd podium of the season. So, sitting 4th in the championship, he was 102 points adrift of Andrew Lawrenson. So he won't move up, but he will cement P4 because Vinny Quinero, who was behind him by only 4 points, was earlier disqualified, unfortunately for him, for speeding in the pit lane. So, but 42 points adrift was Nando Latenzio, who's currently in 4th. But he won't be able to leapfrog Paul Russell because Paul Russell's a spot in front of him. He already has a 42 point gap, and that's only going to help him out. So Paul Russell looking to take home P4 in the championship and finish the season off on a really good note. He hasn't really talked very highly about the Lamborghini, but overall he's had a pretty good season and looking to finish this race with a very, very well-deserved podium. He just has a little excursion there across the grass as he's going up through the centre resters, now through the left-hander of Dunlop. And 19 minutes left in the season, almost 5 p.m. in game time. As Frost, there was a cone going across the track. Yeah, not too sure what happened there, but maybe James Mack had given that a bit of a nudge. So this is 4th position. Mack pitted a while ago now, almost half an hour in fact, about 27 minutes to be exact. So Frost, his tyres will still be feeling relatively fresh, only 12.5 minutes since they've been put on. So Frost definitely got the pace advantage. He was 1.4 seconds faster than James Mack on that last lap. Now, you can't see it. That's what I was saying last week. Paul Russell. Oh no, James Mack just getting a little bit untidy there. Out of that was Degner 2. That's allowed Frost to close right up under brakes. Moving back from the McLaren to the Audi. Sort of up a little hill and then down the dip and then back up the hill again towards Spoon. So James Mack, 259 kilometres, 261 for Frost. So kilometres faster. He's top 3 in this race. Sunset images, golden glow across the circuit. That's just some good photos. The McLaren and the Audi go at it. What sort of times do they do this trip around? 2:03.562, 2:02.897. So it gives you an idea on the pace differential between the two. And James Mack is going to have it all to do to keep the 666 behind him. Did Matt Frost before. And I've also done... Have I done James Mack? I don't think I have. Alright, while he's on the screen. So he didn't race the first 2 rounds of the season. So he didn't accumulate any points. He's sitting 8th in the championship. Only 4 points behind Matt Frost. As he makes a mistake. Let's see what happened here. They're coming out of Dunlop. Oh, the back end was already a little bit loose. He gets it on the grass. Oh, and Frost just slips through just before Degner 1. And James Mack will be kicking himself there. It's so easy to do around turn 7 through Dunlop though. So I was saying that earlier, just got to be a little bit patient. But his tyres would be feeling pretty worn by now too. So he's been going for half an hour on that rubber. Compared to Frost, which is about half that time. So let's stick with him until I go through this. So he missed the first 2 rounds of the season, then a 6th, a 5th, a DNF, another 5th, a podium, P3, then his worst finish of the season last week in P11, and he's looking for another top 10 finish here in P9, so he would have finished the majority of his races within the top 10, the top 7 in fact. We'll see how high he can get this evening, but 11th last week was his worst race of the season, and he currently sits in 8th position, 4 points adrift of Matt Frost, who just recently overtook him on track. So that is probably going to remain the same if this is the way that it finishes the race. In just over 14 minutes. Oh boy. Alright, who else have we got out there? I think I've gone through most of them. What about Chris Hildebrand? He is 6.5 seconds off Peter Wall, who is in the silver class. We can start doing those sort of calculations now too. So Chris Hildebrand, Mark Hurley was his... Here we go. This is spicy. Alright, so let's do it. Chris Hildebrand, he's on 301 points as it stands right now. Now, if he was to finish the race in P11, he'd finish on 347. Alright. So 347. Now, Mark Hurley is currently on 267, and he's in 6th position right now. So he would accumulate 68, 267 plus 68, 335. So if Hildebrandt was to finish 11th and Hurley 6th, it would still be the championship to Chris Hildebrandt. Now, Mark Hurley, he is 1.7 seconds away from Mitch Hayes. Last lap around, Mitch Hayes lapped a 201.927. Mark Hurley was a 202 flat. As Mac is making it. He's not enjoying the last 15 minutes of this race, is James Mack. He'll be happy when this is over by the looks of things. Now, Chris Hildebrandt, he is under the pump right now. So last lap around, let's see what he does. He did do a 204 on the previous lap. This is a 203.890. That's 8 tenths slower than Lee Perkins. Would that tilt the championship points in the favour of Mark Hurley? Maybe so. So the silver championship is still up for grabs. Chris Hildebrandt, as mentioned, I think he's running. He's a bit injured. His back. I hurt my back last Saturday, and I was doing the most manliest thing you can do. I was changing my sheets on my bed. I hurt my back pretty bad last week, so I can empathise with Chris Hildebrandt if it is indeed his back. Not enjoyable and not particularly optimal for sitting down for an hour and 40 minutes either. Keeping it in the one place. Track's at 27 degrees now, 5:15, almost in the evening. Japanese time in the game. And Perkins on the hunt right now. What about his season? Lee Perkins. Let's see what his season's been for Lee Perkins. Good, I don't have it written down. Lee Perkins. Alright, so it was a DNF in the first race. It was 8th in round 2, 14th in round 3, then a 7th, which was his best result for the season. A DNF, 17th, 11th, and 15th. But he is currently P2 in the AM Championship. And let's have a look. So 17 points the difference between he and Mark Stevens. And Mark Stevens is currently P17. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so Stevens 241. He would get, for 17th, he'd get 28 points. So that is that, and then that. So 269 to Stevens. And then Perkins, he's on 224. He's sitting in 12th. He would get 42 points for that. 42, 6. Oh! Mark Stevens would still only get it by 3 points. So this is huge. This is massive right now. This is big for both championships, pretty much. So it's kind of hinging on Hildebrandt. He's P1 in the Silver Championship. Lee Perkins is P2 in the AM Championship. This could have championship implications for both the AM and the Silver class right now, with less than 10 minutes remaining. 9 minutes, in fact, is the remaining amount of time in this one. Lee Perkins hunting down Chris Hildebrandt. He was slightly faster that last lap around. Was the 111 silver unit for Chris Hildebrandt in the Lexus. This is going to be a fun little battle towards the end. Lee Perkins got the AM Championship on the line right now. Mark Stevens has actually worked in his favour that we've had a couple of dropouts, because if he was to finish lower, then he would have he'd be missing out on the championship. So going down to the wire. Can Lee Perkins do it? So if he goes up into 11th, that would be 4 points. That would be enough to seal the AM championship, because Mark Stevens isn't going to be improving his positions. He's got Hignett ahead of him, lapping 3 seconds a lap faster on that previous trip around. So that is not looking good in that aspect. And Lee Perkins has it all to play for. These are the two closest cars out on track, and we can see the sun, the rays of sun shining through. 5:20 p.m. in game time. Lots of the track now in shadows. It is down to 27 degrees. Air temperature is 23 degrees. Still at optimum though. But start to get a little bit slipperier as the track temperature does go down, as Hildebrandt just throwing the Lexus through Dagner 1, now into Dagner 2. Perkins hunting him down. What's been the pace advantage? Hildebrandt 4 kilometres faster than Lee Perkins, 263 kilometres, the highest top speed of all the field this evening. Lee Perkins 259, obviously on the lower end. 254 is the lowest. In fact, that belongs to Adrian Rice in the Lamborghini. Just to give you a bit of a comparison, so 9 kilometres the difference from fastest to slowest. Running out of things to talk about. That's alright, because we've only got just over 6.5 minutes left. Make sure we do the post-race interviews as well. But yeah, this is good stuff. This is going to come down to the wire. 9 races, and it's nothing in it for both Silver and AM. Fun stuff. Chris Hildebrandt, let's talk about his season. So a 10th, a 15th, then 11th, then it was a do not start, and then he had a really good little run of form there. A 6th, a 7th, then a 15th, and then an 8th. So the last 4 weeks of the season, he hasn't finished any lower than, well, if you take the 15th, he hasn't finished any lower than 8th, which is pretty good, and he's currently in P11, so a decent end to the season. A couple of single-digit finishing positions in 6th and 7th there, so and he sits P9 overall in the championship, P1 in the Silver Championship, just 34 points ahead of Mark Hurley, who isn't making up a lot of ground on Mitch Hayes, unfortunately. Mitch Hayes has also had a pretty decent season. Let's see, where is Mitch Hayes on championship standings? 10th. So Mitch Hayes' season, he started off first round of the season 7th, good start. 17th in round number 2, so a bit disappointing after his week before great result of 7th. Then round 3 he finished in 7th. Then after that he was a DNF, and then he's had a really good run of form over the last 4 weeks. An 8th, a 6th, he had a DNF in there, and a 9th. So he's sitting right now in 5th. That would be a phenomenal way for him to finish the season. That would be his highest finishing position for the season. He sits in P10 in the championship. He is only 7 points behind Chris Hildebrandt, the difference between the two. Finishing in 5th position right now would net him 73 points, and Hildebrandt would 46, so that would be 27 the difference. That'd be enough to elevate him up into P9 in the championship, I do believe. So he's got a lot to race for right now as well. And then Perkins looks like he's just dropped off the back of Chris Hildebrandt, so potentially the charge is over. He was 4 tenths slower on that last lap around was Lee Perkins on Chris Hildebrand. So, do we have another twist in the tail? We've only got 3.25 minutes remaining. It needs to happen pretty soon. In the meantime, let's give this man a little bit of credit as well. Out in front, sitting third in the championship. He's not going to be able to wrap it up despite scoring 100 points. Max Ricker will be our champion this season. But that's Lee Perkins, so that definitely that's the nail in the coffin for his charge towards an AM championship win. Unfortunately, he's going to fall just short. But Andrew Lawrenson has been his usual classy self. Terry Rayton has had a great season. So has Paul Russell. But the man that is going to be the champion is Max Ricker. So he's going to finish, looking likely to finish 7th position today. But yeah, he's had a really great season. So Mr. Consistency, the first 3 races of the season was a string of 4th places. So he finished 4th in rounds 1, 2, 3. Then for rounds 4, 5, 6, he finished 2nd, 3 in a row. Before the breakthrough win, he took P1 after that. Then he finished 2nd again. And this is actually going to be his worst finish of the season, 7th. This will be the first time that he's actually finished outside of the top 5 for the entire season, which I guess kind of really points out that, the class and the consistency of this man and why he is pretty much he entered this race with an unassailable lead and will take home the championship spoils for the season is Max Ricker. So big congratulations to him. We've only got 90 seconds left, but yeah, well done, big well done to Max Ricker, a deserving champion this season. He's certainly been Mr. Consistency, that's for sure. 4 seconds for a first, and he's going to bring it home P7 after his early incident in the opening corners of this one. Had to drive with a bit of damage, which is a wounded car, which affected his pace significantly. He was lapping in the 203s while everyone was doing low to mid 201s. So he didn't have the pace to compete with the big boys, but he's managed to work himself back up into P7, which is a very respectable position, and he will finish as our champion of the season, which is not far from being closed. Stick around, we'll do the post-race interviews. And we're going to see if we can get Mark Hurley on the line. How good would that be? Metal steel for the console people. That would be really awesome. Ask for in the chat. I'm really bummed that I didn't get his. This is it. Andrew Lawrenson, congratulations. He takes home the victory. We didn't get the signal. Well done. He wins his 4th race of the season. Congratulations to Andrew Lawrenson. He won't be our champion this season, but he has taken home 4 victories. Congratulations to him. Here's Terry Rayton coming through the Casio Triangle chicane for the final time. Well done. He's going to take home P2. That is his 3rd time finishing 2nd in the race. Congratulations to him. Paul Russell. Well done, Paul Russell. He takes home a podium. That is his 2nd of the season. Congratulations, Paul Russell. He's pretty happy with that. I reckon he'd be pretty happy to hand the keys back to that Lamborghini. In 4th position, well done, Nando Latenzio, flashing the lights as he crosses the line. Well done to him in the number 2 Ferrari. And here comes our silver class winner. He's got Mitch Hayes just up ahead of him, who's going to come home in P5. Makes his way through the final corner now. Plenty of, we've got smoke and all flares and all sorts of stuff going off. But Mitch Hayes, well done. He finishes in 5th position. Mitch Hurley. Mark Hurley. Get it right, Nick. In P6 and the silver class victor. Here's our champion. Well done, Max Ricker. Great season. He is going to come home in 7th position, but he will take out the championship. Congratulations, Max Ricker. Matt Frost, another strong season from him. He will come home in P8 in the 666 Audi. Congratulations to Matt Frost as he crosses the line. Not far behind him is James Mack coming home in P9. Well done to him. Here's Peter Wall. He's going to finish the race in 10th position. And 11th position is going to belong to this man, Chris Hildebrandt. So Hildebrandt 11th. And Hurley in 7th. Was he 7th or 6th? I thought he was 7th. Let's see if that championship changed hands. But then it was Fakeney, Rice, Atron, Hignett. And that was about it. Oh, right. That was all right in the end there, wasn't it? I thought it was going to peter out a little bit, but I think we did a pretty good job of padding it all out and giving ourselves a bit of a review of the season, if you like. But, yeah, if you're listening, Andrew Lawrenson, if you could, when you get the chance, if you could jump in the chat, we'll see if we can organise a post-race interview with him, Mark Hurley and Lee Perkins. That would be awesome. Let me just put it in the chat here. Alright. Okay. What about let's see if I can get Max Ricker. Alright, just sit tight everyone. And so here we go. I think we have our race winner. Andrew Lawrenson is in with us. Can you hear me, Andrew? Oh, I've got to ask him. Who's Arthur? Are you there? He's in there, but I can't hear him at the moment. Oh, that's disappointing. Alright, while we're doing that, Chris Hildebrandt, did he win there? So, let me get my old trusty calculator. So he finished 11th. He was on 301 plus 46 equals 347. And Mark Hurley, he was on... What were we, Mark Hurley? Mark Hurley... Oh, he was on 267, plus he finished 7th, 63 equals 330. Yeah, he got it. Well done, Chris Hildebrandt. He is our silver class champion.
Green light, go, go, go.
I don't have anyone. I see Andrew Lawrenson in there.
Hello.
Oh, we've got Max Ricker though. You there, Max?
Hello, sir.
How are ya?
I got called in, but by mistake, I guess.
No, you're
No,
new
I think we're in
champion.
the right place. Nick bumps us to the other room for a chat when he's ready, I think.
Yeah, can you hear me? Oh, I could hear them.
At least that's what happened last week.
Yeah, I can hear you guys. You know,
He evolved the strategy here then, because last time I jumped in, he was there.
yeah, I am here. Can you hear
So
me?
what happened? Oh, right, okay. Yeah, last time I think I got bumped straight in as well. But
Hang
there's
on.
another channel other than the green room, right? But Nick appears to be in this channel.
Yes, I
Yeah,
am.
it's
But I
interesting.
can't. Oh man.
We will see how badly this goes.
It is going very badly right now.
How was the race in the front? You guys had fun?
Yeah, it was turning into a Verstappen Norris situation on the tyres where mine weren't as good when they were new, but as they got a bit shitter, I started chipping away at him, and I thought, well, I'll undercut him and force him to run really hard on those, and I might get a bit of a jump. I wouldn't catch him on the undercut, but then he'd have worse tyres at the end than he'd otherwise want. I might get a benefit then, but then we came out of the pits and he evaporated, which was unfortunate. And
Hang on.
then I drove into the side of Frost because, I don't know, my brain broke, and otherwise, yeah, cruisy. Yours?
I was last. I don't know. So, someone cleared me at the S's because
All right. Can you hear me? Guys? Can anyone hear me?
Sorry, mate.
Hello?
oh no.
Can you hear me?
Gotcha now.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. You know what happened? My computer updated. I had to do an update last night, and it's kind of screwed me around a little bit. So I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me. I had to set the microphone up. But you were having a good chat anyway. You didn't actually need me. Andrew Lawrenson, congratulations. You are a race victor for race number 9. I will be the bearer of bad news. I didn't have your livery tonight. I downloaded it. I put it all in there, but it didn't appear for whatever reason. So I do apologise in advance for that.
To be fair, it's probably for the greater good.
Okay, well, I do apologise in advance. First and foremost, who's Arthur?
Oh, it's my old man. That's
Your dad. Yeah, he jumps in the chat sometimes to congratulate you. So, yeah, that's cool that your dad watches. So
He quite enjoys your commentary, is what we're talking about the weekend, the professionalism. And he said, need to get more people watching it.
yes, yeah.
In line with the quality that's being put out there. So, yeah, big fan
nice.
from his end too.
Well, thanks to Arthur. So, you were already given us a little bit of a debrief of the race, actually. I think Hignett had a disconnect, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was frustrating. I mean, housekeeping first. He should probably be here, not me, to be fair. I think my tyres, when they aged, might have been a little bit more competitive than his when they aged, which hopefully would have come to fruition at the end of the second stint. But whether or not I could have actually got a pass on, not sure. It certainly didn't happen in the first stint. Otherwise, car was again average, didn't hurt the tyres too much. It went through a period of being particularly subpar, held it together through that, and otherwise the only other apology goes to Frosty from my very clumsy and embarrassing send up the inside when for some reason I thought he was a blue flag. I could not figure out how he was in the position he was in, and that was the assumption I made, which was arrogant and embarrassing, but no one died, so it was okay.
To be fair, I think Matt Frost ran, I think 70 minutes. Yeah, almost 70 minutes.
That explains that.
Yeah, till his first stop. So that kind of that explains that for you. So, well, congratulations. I think you're going to finish P2 in the championship, which is awesome.
To Mr. Ricker, congratulations to him. He's sitting here next to us.
Yeah, I'm going to get him on very shortly. But this was race victory number 4 for you. So, despite being away for a couple of rounds, you've managed to still snag 4 victories, which is awesome. Any of them more memorable than the other this season?
I'm struggling to remember that. All the races sort of blending together. They've all been good, actually. The one thing we were talking about last week was the success of the success ballast system, in that it's bringing the field very, very tight towards the end of the season. Yeah. And that, in addition to the low fuel motorsport ballast, appears to be a pretty good solution to the balance of performance. The qualifying times over the past couple of races at the top, and then even through the rest of the field, have been incredibly close. So I think someone struck gold with whatever the system is behind all of that. So it's led to a lot of good races, none of which stand out as better than the rest. They're just all good. Well,
it's a very neutral answer. I like it. Well, congratulations. A very humble answer, I think. But well, congratulations, mate. Race victory number 4. Once again, apologies I didn't get that livery on the stream for you, but congratulations.
That's right. Now you're forcing me to run it next season too, which I didn't want to do because it is horrific.
All right, well I'll
Thanks
make sure I
again for
get
the
it
season, mate, and all the commentary. Appreciate it again, and congrats to everyone else and to
All
Max,
good.
and thanks everyone for the driving. Good times.
Cheers. Thanks, mate.
Sweet.
Thank you, Andy.
All right, let's quickly get Max Ricker. Are you there, Max?
Yes, I am.
Hey, congratulations, man. You are the season champion, I do believe. All unofficial at this stage, but congratulations.
Yeah, I managed to luckily close the championship last week because I knew that Suzuka wasn't my track.
What happened there at the start of the race?
I don't know. I think I jumped on the brakes a little bit too hard, and I got cleared. It was a fun race. To be honest, I had a lot of fun in the first stint to climb back up. I had a very good scratch with Wolsey and Chris, and it was good. It was good. I was really out of pace. Not sure what was wrong. I was like, didn't feel the car.
Did you have damage in that after the early?
Yeah,
early
I was carrying damage, but the problem is that everyone was very fast around me, so I was like, I can't afford to fix the car now. I had to keep on going with the damage on. But no, I was 14 seconds. The car was still going straight. I was losing a lot of speed, at least from the BMW. Wolsey was flying on the straight. It was crazy. But yeah, no, it was good. It was in the end, it was good. I didn't need the race, and so I wasn't too upset about it. I took a philosophy.
Yeah, well, I think that actually ended up being your worst result for the season. So you hadn't finished any lower than fourth before today.
It was. Well, I got lucky because Andy and Terry, they decided to go on holidays. So I guess that helped. But no, look, it was a good season. I really enjoyed it. I didn't love a couple of the results that I've done before, like Silverstone with the risk of the tires that could have been a win. The other few races that could have been done a little bit better, but look, it's good. It's always very challenging in this field. The quality of the drivers, it's very high. It's what it is.
Yeah. Well, mate, congratulations on the season. You're a picture of consistency. You finished fourth 3 times. You finished second 4 times. You took a race win, and today was 7th. And awesome season from you. And a very deserving champion.
Thank you, and thanks for all the commentary and everything. Congrats to all the other winners.
Pleasure, and awesome. Thanks for jumping on, and congratulations on the season.
No worries. See ya.
Thanks, mate. All right. Do we have Mark Hurley in here, our silver class victor of today?
Yes.
What is going on, my man? How are you?
Pretty good, thanks, mate.
I've got a question for you.
Yes.
How much racing do you do, man? Like, you are on PC, you're on console. If you're not on Discord, you're racing. Like, how much driving do you do every week?
A fair bit, really. Hours and hours.
Yeah, man. You just, I got to give it respect, man. You're always out there. You're in all the different types of other leagues as well, enduros and all that sort of stuff. So,
100% love it. I love doing it. So, it's awesome.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And you're a Collingwood man as well.
Yes, things are looking up there, so I'm happy with that as well.
Yeah, we're looking. It was a good win on the weekend.
Yeah.
Snuck across the line. So, but your season. So today, P1 in silver class.
Yes.
Awesome result from you. Not quite enough to take home the silver class championship, unfortunately. But walk us through today first and foremost. How'd you go today?
The first stint, the car just felt a little bit off to me compared to what I had been doing practicing all week. It just didn't quite have the legs in it for some reason, and it just felt a little more slippery than normal. But I battled on, and I was having some good battles there with James Mack there early on.
Yep. A couple of another Red Rebel Racing ally.
100%, yeah. I was a couple of close calls there. I thought I was going to get touched up there, but I managed to hold him off.
Yep.
Yeah. So and then when about halfway, I pitted and I come out and the car just came alive like it should have felt like in the first stint.
Yep.
And I just gave it the best I could and put myself the highest place I could get. Give me any chance of any championship win if anything went wrong down the back. But no, that didn't happen. But I had some great battle there with Mr. Hayes. He was just in front of me the whole time. I closed the gap right at the end, but I just couldn't quite get him.
Yeah, well, almost got there, but not quite. But still, a good season on the whole. Now, was this your first season in silver?
Yes.
Yes. You did pretty bloody well considering it was your first season in silver. I would take that as a success to finish second in the championship your first crack at it.
Yeah, I'll take that any day of the week. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, I think you did. I think you did really well. So it's it was a pleasure to virtually meet you because I knew you from console first and then obviously in PC. So it's good to meet the man that is Mark Hurley, aka Metal Steel, as well. So congratulations on today and congratulations on your season.
Thanks, Nick, and thanks for all your commentary and everything. It's awesome. You've done a great job.
Yeah, pleasure. Thank you.
No worries. Too easy.
Cool. All right. Again. Well, hopefully I'll see you out on track sometime. I'm more console, so it's only the really place that I'll see you. So yeah.
That's all right.
Cool.
No worries, mate.
All right. See you, mate. Bye.
Good on you. See you later.
All right, and we've got one more. Paul Russell, are you there?
Hey, mate. How you doing?
Paul Russell, the brother of Heather Russell. How you going?
Not too bad, mate. How you doing? Hey,
good,
mate.
Thanks.
You still in Thailand?
Oh, she's still in Thailand. I thought it was to Singapore.
No, she stopped. There was a stopover at Singapore last.
Oh, on the way to Thailand. Oh, is she having a good time?
Yeah. Well, actually, she hasn't posted my pictures, actually. So post some pictures, Heather. I know you're still watching.
Yeah. Well, love it. As long as she's having a good time, that's the main thing. Awesome result from you today. That was your second P3 of the season. Walk us through your race.
That was a tough race. that Lamborghini just has zero grip, and it was just balancing act the whole time. Tires were gone within the first 20 minutes, and I had to pit early to cover off Tez. So I pitted a lot earlier than I wanted to.
Well, you pitted in front of him, and you remained in front, and you really soaked that pressure up for a lot of it. How was it battling Terry today?
It's always great battling Tez. He's such a clean driver. I think normally when I'm in a car that I actually enjoy driving, we have some good battles. So it's always good fun racing Tez. And
you're happy to hand the Lamborghini back for next season? We won't see you in that again anytime soon.
Ever again. That car is an absolute nightmare to drive. Nightmare to drive.
You still did all right. You still finished fourth in the championship. So, considering it wasn't your favourite, I tell you what though, it looked bloody good though. That livery on it is awesome.
Yeah, it came up well, that one actually.
Yeah,
pretty proud of my liveries. So,
Eddie, do you make them or do you get someone else to make them?
No, I can't. I don't know how to load up Photoshop, let alone do anything on it.
Yep.
So I actually get someone to do my liveries, but I tell them what designs I want and all that sort of stuff like that. So.
Any ideas for next season yet?
Yeah, Max has convinced me to go into the McLaren next season. So
okay.
I'll be definitely making a livery for the McLaren next season. Let's just say.
All right, you got a few different options.
It will be an interesting one.
Yeah. All right. Love it. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it. Well, congratulations on the season. I think the lowest you finished was 18th in Silverstone when it just kind of all went pretty pear-shaped in the end there, and you had a DNF in round one. But other than that, a really, really solid season. Like I said, two podiums, 2 thirds, and then other than that, you finished the lowest you finished was a 9th, which is fantastic. So yet again, a picture of consistency and contending week in, week out, which is awesome.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good season, but happy it's over.
Yeah.
Happy to see the end of this freaking Lamborghini.
All right, well, we'll see you in the McLaren next season. Give our best to Heather. Hope she's having a great time over there in Thailand, and I know your family
Yeah,
generally
my mum,
watch.
dad, sisters, the other sister as well. She watches as well. And
Love it,
sometimes
love
we're
it.
over in the UK.
Well, a big hello to all the Russells watching. So they watch every week. But congrats on the season. Well done. And
Yep. And
yeah, thanks for jumping on.
all the commentary work you do, mate. It's absolutely brilliant stuff.
Yeah, pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
All right, take it easy, mate.
Cheers. Thanks, mate.
Yeah. See you next
All
season.
right, bye. I will get out of there. How do I get out of there? Yeah. So, all right. So that's it, everyone. That's the season done. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's we're all done here. So congratulations to Max Ricker. He's our champion. Chris Hildebrandt was the silver champion, and Mark Stevens was the AM champion. A good season in all. I didn't get to stream all of them, but I'll be back next season. Well done to a big thank you to all the people that make this, make it all go, all the admin in the background and everything else that they do. Lots of work that all gets done free of charge. It's all done out of love. So well done to all those people. And yeah, looking forward to the next season. So I think when's the next season planned? 2 to 3 weeks. Oh boy, so not much of a break. All right, cool. Well, I'll see you on the next one. So that's it for this season. We'll see you for season 3 in a few weeks. Until then, take care of yourself, look after each other. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.